Imagine a life where you're not constantly running after things, people, or opportunities, but instead you're effortlessly drawing them towards you. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, with the wisdom of Stoicism, this dream can become your reality. Alright, my Stoic friends, let's get real. Have you ever felt exhausted from trying to force things to happen? Maybe you're constantly reaching out to people who don't reciprocate, chasing opportunities that slip away, or trying to make relationships work that seem to always fall apart. It's draining, isn't it? Well, guess what? You don't have to live like that. Even the great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed in the power of attraction over force. Let's kick things off with a powerful quote that will set the tone for our journey today. What's meant for you will come to you when you're not pushing or forcing it. That's right, when you stop chasing and start living in alignment with your true self, you create a magnetic force that attracts the right things, people, and opportunities into your life. Imagine this, you're living your life, focusing on your growth, happiness, and well-being. Suddenly, the right people start appearing, opportunities knock on your door, and everything you've been yearning for begins to flow effortlessly into your life. Sounds magical, right? Well, it's not magic. It's Stoicism, my friend. But before we dive into the 10 Stoic principles that will help you attract what's meant for you, let's first understand the difference between chasing and attracting. Why? Because this shift in mindset is the foundation of our journey today. When you understand that chasing is rooted in scarcity and fear, while attracting is grounded in abundance and confidence, you'll see how powerful this transformation can be. Chasing is like running on a treadmill. You exert a lot of energy, but don't really get anywhere. It's exhausting and often leads to frustration and disappointment. When you're chasing after someone or something, it sends a signal that you're lacking and desperate. For example, if you're constantly texting someone who doesn't respond, you're chasing. This behavior can push people away because it feels needy and overbearing. As Epictetus wisely put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By continually chasing, you highlight your wants and deficiencies. On the other hand, attracting is about living your life with confidence and self-assurance. Knowing that what's meant for you will come naturally. It's like being a lighthouse, steady, strong, and effortlessly drawing ships towards your light. When you focus on your growth and happiness, you radiate positive energy that others find irresistible. For instance, instead of chasing after a partner who's not interested, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you're happy and fulfilled, you naturally attract people who appreciate and value you. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By cultivating an abundant and confident mindset, you attract abundance and confidence into your life. So let's embrace this powerful shift from chasing to attracting. It's not about giving up on your desires, but aligning your actions and mindset with the belief that you are worthy of receiving them effortlessly. This transformation will not only enhance your personal well-being, but also make you a magnet for the right things. People and opportunities ready to transform your approach and start living a life where what's meant for you simply finds you. Let's dive into those 10 powerful Stoic principles that will help you become a magnet for what you desire. But before we get started, here's a little fun task for you. Drop a comment below with the words, "I am a magnet." This simple affirmation will help you throughout your journey. As our wise Stoic dude once said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So go ahead, first say this to yourself, and leave it in the comments too, as this will also help others in boosting their journey. Remember, helping others is the best thing to do. Ready, Stoic friend? Let's go. Number 1, let go of fear. Letting go of fear will make you a magnet for the right people, opportunities, and experiences. Fear acts as a barrier, blocking your natural ability to attract what's meant for you. When you're driven by fear, you often make decisions based on insecurity, doubt, and anxiety. This can lead to missed opportunities and strained relationships. By letting go of fear, you create space for confidence, courage, and authenticity to flourish, making you more attractive and compelling to others. Fear often manifests in various aspects of our lives, especially in relationships. It might be the fear of rejection, fear of being alone, or fear of not being good enough. These fears can cause you to cling to relationships that are not healthy or chase after people who do not reciprocate your feelings. As Epictetus said, "He who is not a slave to fear is truly free." By releasing these fears, you free yourself from the chains that hold you back, allowing you to attract genuine connections based on mutual respect and love. Imagine you're in a relationship where you're constantly afraid of being left or not being appreciated. This fear can make you act out of character, leading to overbearing behaviors or pushing your partner away. Instead, by letting go of this fear, you start to value yourself more and approach the relationship with confidence and self-assurance. Your partner will notice this quickenage and will be more likely to appreciate and reciprocate your genuine self. This shift from fear to confidence transforms the dynamic, making the relationship stronger and more fulfilling. Letting go of fear also applies to your personal growth and ambitions. When you're not afraid to take risks or fail, you become more open to exploring new opportunities and challenging yourself. This boldness and willingness to step out of your comfort zone are incredibly attractive qualities. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and resilience. As you let go of fear, you start to visualize success, set clear intentions, and attract the right opportunities that align with your true self. So how do you let go of fear? Start by acknowledging your fears and understanding their root causes. Practice mindfulness and self-reflection to identify the fears that hold you back. Once you recognize these fears, challenge them. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often the scenarios we fear are not as daunting as we imagine. Replace these fears with positive affirmations and focus on the potential for growth and success. Surround yourself with positive influences and supportive people who encourage you to be your best self. Engage in activities that build your confidence and remind you of your strengths. Remember, letting go of fear is a continuous journey. But with each step, you become stronger and more magnetic. By letting go of fear, you will find yourself on the journey of becoming a magnet, a strong individual who attracts the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life effortlessly. As you release fear and embrace confidence, you embody the affirmation, "I am a magnet." This transformation not only enhances your personal well-being, but also makes you an irresistible force that draws positivity and abundance into your life. So take the first step today. Let go of fear and watch how the world around you changes for the better. Number 2, visualize success. So friends, in our previous discussion, we talked about how to let go of fear and how it can make you a magnet for the right people, opportunities, and experiences. Now let's dive into our next principle, visualize success. Picture this, you're standing on a mountaintop, looking out over a breathtaking landscape. The journey was tough, filled with challenges and obstacles, but you made it. The feeling of accomplishment washes over you, and you realize that every step, every struggle was worth it. This powerful imagery is what visualization can do for you. By visualizing success, you harness the power of your mind to create the reality you desire. Visualization is not just daydreaming, it's a focused and intentional practice. When you visualize success, you're creating a mental image of your goals and aspirations. This mental picture acts as a blueprint for your actions, guiding you towards the outcomes you want. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By consistently visualizing positive outcomes, you condition your mind to recognize and seize opportunities that are not just for you, that align with your vision. Let's take relationships as an example. Imagine the kind of partner you want to attract, someone who respects you, values your opinions, and shares your interests. Visualize what your life would be like with this person, how you interact, the activities you enjoy together, the mutual support you provide each other. This visualization helps you align your actions and choices with the type of relationship you want to attract. It's about setting a clear intention and letting the universe work its magic. Visualization can also be a powerful tool in your life. In professional and personal growth, let's say you want to achieve a significant milestone in your career. Visualize yourself reaching that goal, giving a successful presentation, receiving accolades, or achieving that promotion. This practice helps build your confidence and prepares your mind for success. It's like a rehearsal for the real thing, making you more prepared and resilient. When opportunities arise to make visualization effective, consistency is key. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals. Use all your senses to make the mental images as vivid as possible. Feel the emotions of success. Hear the sounds of your achievements. See the details of your aspirations coming to life. This practice not only keeps you focused, but also energizes you, making the pursuit of your goals more exciting and fulfilling. So friends, by visualizing success, you're not just dreaming, you're setting a powerful intention for your life. You're telling the universe, this is what I want, and I'm ready to receive it. This mental clarity and focus make you a magnet for the opportunities and people that can help you achieve your dreams. Remember, I am a magnet. Embrace the power of visualization and watch as your life transforms in ways you've always imagined. Stay focused, stay positive, and let your visions guide you to success. Number 3, do your best and let go. So friends, we've previously discussed how to let go of fear and the power of visualizing success. Now let's move on to our third principle, do your best and let go. Imagine a gardener planting seeds in a well-tended garden. He carefully nurtures the soil, waters the plants, and provides them with the necessary nutrients. Yet after all this effort, he knows he must let nature take its course. He can't force the seeds to sprout or the flowers to bloom. He can only do his best and let go, trusting that his efforts will bear fruit. This is the essence of our third principle. Do your best and let go. In life, we often strive for perfection and control, fearing that anything less will lead to failure. But Stoicism teaches us that while we should always strive to do our best, we must also accept that some things are beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This means putting your heart and soul into every endeavor, giving your utmost effort, and then releasing attachment to the outcome. Let's consider relationships. You may be in a situation where you're investing a lot of time and effort into building a connection with someone. You're attentive, caring, and supportive. Yet, despite your best efforts, the relationship may not progress as you hoped. Instead of becoming anxious or disheartened, remember to do your best and let go. Trust that you've done everything within your power and that the right outcome will unfold in its own time. In professional and personal pursuits, this principle is equally powerful. Imagine you're working on a crucial project or preparing for an important exam. You dedicate yourself fully, studying hard and putting in the hours. However, once the exam is over or the project is submitted, it's time to let go of the stress and anxiety about the results. Trust that your efforts will yield the best possible outcome. As Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Doing your best and letting go doesn't mean being indifferent or careless. It's about recognizing the limits of your control and embracing the wisdom of detachment. This mindset frees you from unnecessary stress and worry, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, your effort and dedication. By letting go of the outcome, you create space for new opportunities and experiences to enter your life. So friends, by doing your best and letting go, you embody the true spirit of Stoicism. You become a magnet for positive energy, attracting the right people and opportunities effortlessly. Remember, I am a magnet. Trust in your efforts and let go of the need to control everything. Embrace this principle and watch as your life transforms with grace and ease. Stay dedicated, stay confident, and let the universe take care of the rest. Number 4, attract what you want. So friends, we've explored the importance of letting go of fear, visualizing success, and doing your best and letting go. Now let's dive into our fourth principle, attract what you want. Imagine you're a magnet drawing to you the very things you desire in life. This isn't just a fanciful notion, it's a powerful reality when you understand and apply the principle of attracting what you want. By aligning your thoughts, actions, and energy with your desires, you become a beacon for the right people, opportunities, and experiences. To attract what you want, start by getting crystal clear about your desires. What kind of relationships, career, or life experiences are you aiming for? Write them down, visualize them, and most importantly, believe that you deserve them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your thoughts shape your reality, so focus on what you want to attract rather than what you want to avoid. Let's take relationships as an example. If you want to attract a loving, supportive partner, start by embodying those qualities yourself. Be loving, supportive, and positive in your interactions. Your energy will naturally draw similar people to you. It's about becoming the person you wish to attract. If you're seeking a partner who values honesty and integrity, ensure these are the principles you live by daily. This alignment creates a magnetic pull, bringing the right person into your life. In professional settings, attracting what you want works similarly. If you aspire to a specific role or success in your career, act as if you already hold that position. Display the confidence, competence, and attitude of someone who is already successful. This not only boosts your confidence, but also signals to others that you're ready for greater responsibilities and opportunities. The universe responds to your energy, and by consistently putting out positive, focused vibes, you attract what you desire. The key to attracting what you want lies in maintaining a positive and abundant mindset. Avoid dwelling on lack or scarcity. Instead, focus on abundance and the belief that there's plenty of success, love, and opportunities for everyone. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, you open the floodgates to attract everything you desire. As Epictetus wisely put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By wanting less and appreciating more, you attract abundance effortlessly. Remember to take inspired action. Attraction isn't just about thinking positively. It's also about taking steps toward your goals, whether it's improving your skills, expanding your network, or stepping out of your comfort zone. These actions align you with your desires and amplify your magnetic pull. Stay proactive, stay focused, and watch how the universe conspires to bring you what you want. So friends, by attracting what you want, you harness the power of intention and action. You become a magnet for the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, I am a magnet. By aligning your thoughts, actions, and energy with your desires, you attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. Embrace this principle and watch your dreams unfold with ease and grace. Stay positive, stay focused, and let your magnetic energy draw in all that you seek. Number 5, release control. So friends, we've discussed the significance of letting go of fear, visualizing success, doing your best, and letting go and attracting what you want. Now let's delve into our 5th principle, release control. Imagine sailing a boat. You can control your direction and set your sails, but you cannot control the wind or the waves. This is the essence of releasing control, focusing on what you can influence and letting go of what you cannot. By releasing control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and open yourself to the flow of life's opportunities and experiences. Releasing control doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means recognizing the limits of your influence and embracing the unpredictability of life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." By accepting this, you allow yourself to focus your energy on what truly matters, your actions, responses, and mindset. In relationships, releasing control is crucial. Trying to control others' actions or feelings often leads to frustration and conflict. Instead, focus on your behavior and responses. For instance, instead of worrying about how your partner might react to something, communicate openly and honestly. Trust that your sincerity and integrity will guide the relationship in the right direction. By letting go of the need to control every outcome, you create a space for mutual respect and understanding to flourish. Let's apply this to your professional life. You might be working on a project where the outcome heavily depends on factors beyond your control, like team dynamics or market conditions. Rather than stressing over these uncertainties, focus on what you can control, your effort, creativity, and collaboration. Trust that by doing your best, the right outcome will emerge. As Marcus Aurelius put it, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. For what could more aptly fit your needs? Releasing control also means embracing the present moment. Often our desire to control stems from fear of the unknown and anxiety about the future. By practicing mindfulness and staying present, you reduce this anxiety and become more open to the possibilities that each moment offers. This shift in perspective allows you to navigate life with greater ease and grace, attracting positive experiences and people naturally. So how do you start releasing control? Begin by identifying areas in your life where you're trying to exert too much control. Reflect on how this affects your stress levels and relationships. Next, practice acceptance and trust. Remind yourself that while you can influence outcomes, you cannot dictate them. Embrace uncertainty and view it as a part of life's adventure. Engage in activities that foster a sense of surrender and trust, such as meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. These practices help you connect with the flow of life and build resilience against the urge to control. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you to let go and trust the process. By releasing control, you become more adaptable, resilient, and open to change. To the flow of life, you attract positive energy and experiences because you're not weighed down by the need to micromanage every detail. Remember, I am a magnet. By letting go of control, you align yourself with the natural rhythms of life, becoming a beacon for opportunities and relationships that are meant for you. Embrace this principle and watch as your life transforms with ease and harmony. Stay flexible, stay open, and let life surprise you in wonderful ways. And with this, we've passed the halfway mark in our video, so thank you for sticking with us. We really want you to stay until the end because the upcoming principles are crucial and can profoundly impact your journey. If you found value in our discussion so far, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement means a lot, and it's what keeps our community thriving. Let's dive back into the principles with even more powerful insights to help you become the magnet you are meant to be. Number 6. Embrace uplifting moments. Life is a collection of moments, and by focusing on the uplifting ones, you can transform your entire outlook. Embracing uplifting moments means recognizing and cherishing the positive experiences in your life, no matter how small. These moments have the power to elevate your mood, boost your energy, and make you more attractive to others. Think about the last time you had a truly uplifting experience. Maybe it was a heartfelt conversation with a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a moment of unexpected kindness. How did it make you feel? These moments are precious, and by actively seeking them out and savoring them, you can cultivate a more positive and magnetic presence. As Marcus Aurelius said, dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. In relationships, embracing uplifting moments can create stronger and more meaningful connections. Instead of dwelling on conflicts or disappointments, focus on the good times you share. Celebrate the small victories and happy moments with your loved ones. For example, if you and your partner have had a wonderful day together, take a moment to express your gratitude and happiness. This not only strengthens your bond, but also reinforces positive behavior, making your relationship more resilient and joyful. In your personal growth journey, uplifting moments act as reminders of your progress and potential. Let's say you've been working hard on a project and you receive positive feedback from your peers. Instead of brushing it off, take a moment to appreciate the recognition and let it fuel your motivation. Acknowledge your achievements, no matter how minor they might seem, and let them inspire you to keep moving forward. As Seneca wisely stated, are within us and within our reach. To make the most of uplifting moments, practice mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness helps you stay present and fully experience these moments as they happen, while gratitude allows you to appreciate them deeply. Start a daily gratitude journal where you note down at least 3 positive things that happened each day. This simple practice can shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Seek out activities and environments that uplift you. Surround yourself with positive, inspiring people who encourage and support you. Engage in hobbies that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's reading a good book, going for a walk in nature, or listening to your favorite music. Make time for these uplifting experiences regularly. By embracing uplifting moments, you fill your life with positive energy and joy. This not only enhances your own well-being, but also makes you more attractive and magnetic to others. Remember, I am a magnet. The more you focus on the uplifting aspects of life, the more you draw in positivity and abundance. Embrace this principle and watch how your life becomes richer and more fulfilling. Stay grateful, stay present, and let the beauty of each moment light up your journey. Number 7, stay true to yourself. Imagine living a life where every action and decision aligns perfectly with your core values and beliefs. This is what it means to stay true to yourself. By being authentic and genuine, you not only attract the right people and opportunities, but also live a life of integrity and fulfillment. Staying true to yourself makes you a magnet for positive energy and genuine connections. In relationships, staying true to yourself is paramount. Authenticity means fosters trust and respect. When you present yourself genuinely without pretense or facade, you invite others to do the same. This creates a solid foundation for deep and meaningful relationships. Consider a scenario where you meet someone new. Instead of trying to impress them by being someone you're not, show them your true self, your likes, dislikes, quirks, and passions. This honesty is refreshing and attractive, making it more likely that you'll connect with people who appreciate you for who you are. Being true to yourself also means setting boundaries and respecting your own needs and desires. It involves saying no when necessary, and not compromising your values for the sake of pleasing others. As Epictetus said, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. When you honor your own truth, you build self-respect and confidence, which naturally draws others to you. People are drawn to those who are confident in their identity and clear about their boundaries. In your personal and professional life, staying true to yourself can lead to greater success and satisfaction. For instance, in your career, pursue paths that resonate with your passions and strengths, rather than conforming to external expectations. When you work in alignment with your true interests and abilities, you perform better and feel more fulfilled. This authenticity attracts opportunities that are a better fit for you, leading to a more rewarding career. To stay true to yourself, start by reflecting on your core values and beliefs. Understand what drives you and what you stand for. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this process. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences to gain deeper insight into your true self. Regular self-reflection helps you stay aligned with your values and make decisions that honor your authentic self. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage your authenticity. Seek relationships and communities where you can be your true self without fear of judgment. These supportive environments reinforce your commitment to staying true to yourself and provide a safe space for growth and expression. Practicing self-compassion is also crucial. Understand that being true to yourself doesn't mean being perfect. It means accepting and embracing your imperfections and learning from your mistakes. Treat yourself with kindness and patience as you navigate your journey. So friends, by staying true to yourself, you become a beacon of authenticity and integrity. You attract genuine connections and opportunities that align with your true self. Remember, I am a magnet. Embrace your authenticity and let it guide you towards a life filled with genuine relationships and fulfilling experiences. Stay honest, stay authentic, and let your true self shine brightly in every aspect of your life. Number 8. Practice patience and trust the process. Imagine planting a seed and expecting it to sprout and bloom overnight. It sounds absurd, right? Just like the natural world, personal growth and relationships also require time and patience. Practicing patience and trusting the process means understanding that good things take time to develop and that every step of your journey has its own value. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like. However, as Marcus Aurelius said, no great thing is created suddenly. Whether you're working towards a personal goal, nurturing a relationship, or seeking new opportunities, patience allows you to appreciate the journey rather than just the destination. In relationships, practicing patience is crucial. Building deep, meaningful connections takes time. You can't rush trust or intimacy. For example, when starting a new relationship, give it the space to grow naturally. Avoid the urge to push for immediate closeness or commitment. Instead, enjoy getting to know each other. Share experiences, and let the bond strengthen over time. Trust that the process of gradually building a relationship will lead to a more solid and lasting connection. The same principle applies to your personal and professional goals. Whether you're learning a new skill, pursuing a career advancement, or working on personal development, it's essential to be patient with yourself. Recognize that progress might be slow and that setbacks are part of the journey. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Patience is a form of self-mastery that helps you stay focused and resilient. Trusting the process means believing that your efforts will eventually pay off, even if you can't see immediate results. This trust fosters a positive mindset and reduces anxiety about the future. For instance, if you're working towards a long-term goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Celebrate each small achievement along the way, knowing that each step brings you closer to your ultimate goal. To cultivate patience, practice mindfulness and stay present. Mindfulness helps you appreciate the current moment and reduces the urge to rush. Engage in activities like meditation, deep breathing, or simply spending time in nature to center yourself and build patience. Another important aspect of trusting the process is letting go of the need for immediate validation. Instead of seeking quick rewards or recognition, focus on the intrinsic value of your efforts. Trust that your hard work and dedication will be recognized in due time, even if it's not immediate. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage patience and perseverance. Share your journey with friends or mentors who understand the importance of taking things step by step. Their support can reinforce your belief in the process and help you stay motivated. So friends, by practicing patience and trusting the process, you align yourself with a natural flow of life. You attract positive outcomes because you're not rushed or stressed, but calm and persistent. Remember, I am a magnet. Embrace the journey, trust in the time it takes, and watch as your patience leads to the fulfillment of your deepest desires. Stay patient, stay trusting, and let the process unfold beautifully. Number 9. Set clear intentions. Imagine embarking on a journey without a destination in mind. You might wander aimlessly, unsure of where to go or what to do next. Setting clear intentions is like having a map that guides your actions and decisions, helping you stay focused and aligned with your goals. Clear intentions act as a powerful magnet, attracting the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. Setting clear intentions means defining what you want to achieve and why it matters to you. It's about being specific and purposeful in your desires. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. By setting clear intentions, you give yourself a direction and purpose, making it easier to navigate life's challenges and stay on course. In relationships, clear intentions are crucial. Whether you're seeking a romantic partner, building a friendship, or making love, or strengthening family bonds, knowing what you want from these relationships helps you communicate effectively and set healthy boundaries. For instance, if you're entering a new relationship, be clear about your intentions, whether you're looking for a serious commitment or simply companionship. This clarity prevents misunderstandings and ensures that both parties are on the same page, fostering a more authentic and fulfilling connection. Setting clear intentions also applies to your personal and professional goals. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, you're more likely to take focused actions that lead to success. For example, if your goal is to advance in your career, set specific intentions such as gaining new skills, networking with industry professionals, or seeking out leadership opportunities. These clear intentions guide your daily actions and keep you motivated, making it more likely that you'll achieve your desired outcome. To set clear intentions, start by reflecting on your values and priorities. What truly matters to you? What do you want to accomplish in different areas of your life? Write down your intentions in a journal and be as specific as possible. Instead of vague goals like be happier, set clear intentions such as practice gratitude daily or spend more quality time with loved ones. These specific intentions give you a roadmap to follow and make it easier to track your progress. Visualization is a powerful tool for setting clear intentions. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your intentions as if they've already been achieved. Imagine the feelings of joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment that come with reaching your goals. This practice not only reinforces your intentions, but also aligns your subconscious mind with your desired outcomes. Stay flexible and open to adjustments. While clear intentions provide direction, be willing to adapt as circumstances change. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes you need to recalibrate your intentions to stay aligned with your evolving goals and values. This flexibility ensures that you remain on a path that feels authentic and meaningful. Surround yourself with supportive individuals who encourage your intentions. Share your goals with friends, family, or mentors who can offer guidance, motivation, and accountability. Their support reinforces your commitment to your intentions and helps you stay on track. So friends, by setting clear intentions, you take charge of your life's direction. You become a magnet for the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your true desires. Remember, I am a magnet. Embrace this principle and watch as your clear intentions pave the way for a more focused, purposeful, and fulfilling life. Stay intentional, stay committed, and let your intentions guide you towards your dreams. Number 10. Cultivate self-love and self-worth. Imagine looking in the mirror and feeling a deep sense of love and appreciation for the person staring back at you. Cultivating self-love and self-worth is about recognizing your inherent value and treating yourself with the kindness and respect you deserve. This principle is foundational to attracting positive energy and meaningful relationships into your life. Self-love is not about arrogance or narcissism. It's about understanding and appreciating your unique qualities and contributions. When you love yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. By cultivating self-love, you become more confident, resilient, and magnetic. In relationships, self-love plays a crucial role. When you have a healthy sense of self-worth, you attract partners who recognize and respect your value. For example, if you constantly seek validation from others, you may end up in relationships where you're undervalued or taken for granted. However, when you love and respect yourself, you're more likely to attract partners who do the same. This creates a foundation of mutual respect and admiration, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Self-love also impacts your personal and professional growth. When you believe in your worth, you're more likely to pursue opportunities that align with your true passions and talents. You set higher standards for yourself and are less likely to settle for less than you deserve. This confidence and self-assuredness make you a magnet for success and fulfillment in all areas of your life. To cultivate self-love and self-worth, start by practicing self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a close friend. Acknowledge your strengths and achievements and forgive yourself for mistakes. Remember, you are a work in progress, and that's perfectly okay. Engage in activities that nourish your soul and bring you joy. Whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time in nature, or practicing mindfulness, make time for activities that uplift and energize you. These moments of self-care reinforce your sense of worth and well-being. Surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who uplift and inspire you, and distance yourself from those who drain your energy or undermine your confidence. Positive relationships reinforce your self-worth and encourage you to keep growing and thriving. Affirmations are another powerful tool for cultivating self-love. Repeat positive affirmations daily, such as I am worthy, I am enough, and I deserve love and happiness. These affirmations help reprogram your subconscious mind and strengthen your belief in your own value. Reflect on your accomplishments and celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Keeping a journal of your achievements and positive experiences can serve as a reminder of your growth and progress. This practice reinforces your sense of self-worth and motivates you to keep striving for your goals. So friends, by cultivating self-love and self-worth, you become a beacon of positivity and confidence. You attract relationships and opportunities that reflect your true value and contribute to your growth. Remember, I am a magnet. Embrace this principle and let your self-love and self-worth shine brightly, illuminating your path to a fulfilling and abundant life. Stay compassionate, stay confident, and let your inner light guide you to your dreams. Alright, Stoic friends, we've journeyed through 10 powerful principles to help you stop chasing and start attracting what's truly meant for you. You now have a comprehensive toolkit to transform your life and relationships. Remember, each principle is designed to help you align with your true self and create a magnetic presence that naturally draws the right people and opportunities into your life. It's not about playing games or manipulating others. It's about being the best version of yourself and letting that shine through in every interaction. By applying these Stoic principles, you're not only becoming someone others can't help but think about, but you're also growing into a more confident, resilient, and genuinely attractive person. The journey to attracting what's meant for you starts with you. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." For creatives, this translates to prioritizing your craft, even in small, consistent increments. Instead of waiting for ideal conditions, use the time you have now to create, no matter how limited it may seem. Procrastination is another common hurdle to creative freedom. The Stoics emphasized action as a remedy for stagnation. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Start with small, achievable tasks that build momentum. Whether it's sketching an idea, drafting a paragraph, or experimenting with a melody, taking action, however imperfect, frees you from the paralysis of overthinking. Stoic principles also teach the importance of presence. Creativity thrives when you're fully engaged in the moment, unburdened by worries about the past or future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." When you focus entirely on the task at hand, you enter a state of flow where ideas come naturally and time seems to disappear. Practice mindfulness as you create. Feel the texture of the paintbrush. Hear the rhythm of the words, or sense the movement of your hands on an instrument. Presence transforms the act of creating into an experience of freedom and joy. Lastly, true creative freedom comes from embracing the process over the product. The Stoics believed in finding fulfillment in the effort itself, regardless of the outcome. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The fruit of this life is a good character and acts for the common good." For creatives, the fruit of your work isn't just the finished piece. It's the growth, insight, and satisfaction you gain along the way by focusing on the process. Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain our composure in the face of such reactions. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." Stay calm, set boundaries, and don't let their tantrums dictate your decisions. Entitled individuals also lack gratitude, which is perhaps the most telling sign of their mindset. The moment we shift the focus to our own behavior, we regain control and clarity. People who have many enemies also tend to speak poorly about those they've fallen out with. Instead of reflecting on the situation, they trash talk former friends, colleagues, or acquaintances. For example, you might hear someone constantly recounting how they've been wronged by every person they've ever worked with, or how no one ever understands them. This constant narrative of being the victim reflects a refusal to see things from other perspectives, and it often comes at the expense of their own growth. Stoicism reminds us to remain calm and composed in these situations. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Instead of engaging in their petty squabbles, take the higher road by practicing empathy and understanding, even if you don't agree with the person's behavior. One of the hardest things to do is to watch someone behave in a way that causes constant conflict and then act surprised when they're isolated or surrounded by enemies. Their tendency to burn bridges can eventually lead to loneliness, and they may try to convince themselves that it's everyone else's fault. But in truth, their lack of self-reflection and their refusal to take responsibility for their actions are what perpetuate the cycle. In Stoicism, we are taught to focus on what is in our control, particularly our own actions. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." It's easy to get caught up in someone else's narrative, but it's important to stay grounded in your own truth and not get lost in the drama they create. These individuals often fail to learn from their mistakes. They repeat the same patterns, burning bridges, speaking ill of others, and distancing themselves from anyone who challenges their behavior. And because they don't learn from past conflicts, they're doomed to repeat them. A family member of mine went through cycles of friend groups, only to end up alone time and time again. Every time they'd start a new relationship, whether professional or personal, the cycle would repeat. They'd create tension, become defensive, and then cut ties, convinced that everyone else was to blame. Stoicism teaches us that growth comes from self-examination, not from avoiding uncomfortable truths. As Epictetus said, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. By confronting our own mistakes, we can break free from cycles of conflict and start building healthier, more constructive relationships. Number 10. They thrive on hate. There are some people who seem to live in a constant state of anger and resentment. It's as if hatred fuels them, and without it, they wouldn't know who they are. These individuals often thrive in environments where negativity is rampant. They focus on flaws, criticize others endlessly, and can't seem to find anything good to say about anyone. Their minds are consumed by the faults and wrongs of others, and they take pride in pointing out imperfections wherever they see them. How often have you gone through your day only to be blindsided by something you didn't expect? A sudden problem at work, an unexpected obstacle in your personal life, or an emotional setback that throws you off course. The truth is, life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, challenges are inevitable. But here's the Stoic secret to making things happen. Prepare for challenges in advance, and you'll be ready to face whatever comes your way. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, teaches us to mentally prepare for obstacles before they arise. Instead of being caught off guard or overwhelmed by setbacks, we anticipate them and think through how we would respond. By doing this, we build emotional resilience and the mental clarity needed to handle difficulties calmly and strategically. It might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would you spend time thinking about challenges and setbacks? Wouldn't that make you anxious or focused on negative outcomes? But premeditatio malorum isn't about dwelling on worst-case scenarios. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This wisdom highlights the importance of simplifying our lives and avoiding the trap of chasing after more than we truly need. By practicing moderation, you create space for consistency, focus, and mental clarity. Instead of exhausting yourself with endless striving or giving into indulgence, you create a sustainable rhythm that allows you to pursue your goals without burning out. You take the time to rest, recharge, and maintain your energy so that you can perform at your best consistently, day in and day out. The key to balance is recognizing that everything has its place. Work, rest, productivity, relaxation, and each of these needs to be honored without tipping into excess. When you overwork, you burn out. When you overindulge, you feel guilty or sluggish. But when you find balance, you're able to bring your best self to everything you do and still maintain your mental and emotional well-being. So how do you start practicing balance and moderation? Begin by recognizing areas of your life where you tend to overdo it. Whether it's work, food, social media, or something else, start setting boundaries for yourself. Give yourself time to rest. Ensure that you're prioritizing the things that truly matter, while also allowing space for relaxation and rejuvenation. By embracing balance, you'll find that you not only achieve more, but you do so with greater peace and energy. Remember, the middle path is often the strongest path. Embrace moderation and let it guide you toward a more sustainable, fulfilling way of living. 10. Memento mori. Act like time is running out. How many times have you put something off thinking, "I'll get to it tomorrow," or "there's plenty of time ahead"? We all tend to procrastinate, assuming that we have endless time to accomplish our goals, fix our mistakes, or pursue our passions. But here's the truth: time is precious, and we're never guaranteed more of it. When we realize that we are just one part of a much larger whole, we stop seeing ourselves as isolated or superior. Instead, we see our place in the world as part of a grander design, a design where our actions contribute to the collective good. This awareness helps us act with more compassion, empathy, and generosity, knowing that the energy we put into the world comes back to us in ways we might not fully understand. To incorporate this habit into your life, take a moment each day to reflect on how your actions contribute to the larger world around you. Ask yourself, how can I serve others today? How does my work contribute to the greater good? Whether it's helping a colleague, being present for a loved one, or making mindful choices that benefit the environment, always remember that your actions are part of the larger web of life. By embracing your universal connection, you stop thinking only about your individual success and start seeing your life as part of a larger mission. A mission that benefits not just yourself, but everyone around you. 14. Train your mind like an athlete. Your mindset determines what you achieve. We often spend hours training our bodies, improving our physical strength, endurance, and abilities. But what about the most important muscle of all, our mind? Just like an athlete dedicates time to physical training, the greatest achievers dedicate time to training their mindset. Your mindset shapes how you approach challenges, how you handle setbacks, and how you ultimately succeed. The 14th habit for making things happen is training your mind like an athlete. Stoicism teaches us that mental strength, like physical strength, is built through consistent practice, focus, and discipline. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and the more you invest in developing it, the greater your capacity to navigate life's challenges with confidence and resilience. Think about how athletes approach their training. They don't expect to perform at their best without putting in the work. Every day they train, pushing their limits and honing their skills. They know that achieving peak performance requires constant practice, focus, and dedication. The same goes for your mind. If you want to cultivate mental strength, resilience, and focus, you need to train your mind regularly. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself of the importance of mental discipline. He recognized that the quality of our thoughts directly impacts the quality of our lives. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Marcus Aurelius, in other words, the way you think, the way you interpret your circumstances, and the way you choose to respond to challenges directly affect your ability to succeed. By training your mind, you equip yourself to handle anything life throws at you with grace and wisdom. One way to start training your mind is through daily reflection and mindfulness. Just as an athlete works on their form, you can work on your mindset by focusing on your thoughts. Are they positive, focused, and aligned with your goals, or are they negative, reactive, and driven by emotion? When you become aware of your thought patterns, you can intentionally shift your mindset toward one that supports growth, resilience, and achievement. In addition to reflection, mental training can include practices like meditation, journaling, or mindfulness exercises. These practices help you develop focus, clarity, and emotional regulation, skills that will serve you in every area of your life. Just as physical training increases your endurance, mental training increases your ability to stay calm under pressure, to make better decisions, and to persist through difficult times. Another powerful way to train your mind is to constantly challenge it. Put yourself in situations that push your mental limits, whether it's solving a complex problem, learning a new skill, or facing a personal challenge. Thanks for watching. Just like lifting weights makes your muscles stronger, mental challenges make your mind more resilient. The more you challenge your mind, the more capable it becomes. Ultimately, your mindset is the foundation of your success. When you train your mind with the same dedication that an athlete trains their body, you unlock your true potential. A strong mind allows you to face adversity with confidence, learn from setbacks, and continue moving forward toward your goals, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. The Stoics valued mutual respect and generosity, believing that gratitude fosters harmony and growth. Ask yourself, am I focusing on what I lack, or am I appreciating what I have? How can gratitude shift my perspective today? The creative process isn't just about producing work, it's about appreciating the journey. By cultivating gratitude, you find joy in the act of creating, resilience in the face of challenges, and inspiration in the everyday. As the Stoics teach, true wealth lies not in what you achieve, but in the gratitude you hold for the opportunities along the way. 10. Achieving creative freedom with a Stoic mindset. True creative freedom isn't about having endless time, resources, or opportunities. It's about liberating your mind from the barriers that hold you back. Fear of judgment, perfectionism, procrastination, and self-doubt can weigh heavily on your ability to create. A Stoic mindset, with its emphasis on self-mastery, detachment from external validation, and focus on the present, provides the tools to break free from these constraints and fully express your creative potential. The Stoics believed that freedom begins in the mind. Epictetus taught freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. For creatives, this means letting go of the outcomes you can't dictate, whether your work will be praised, sold, or even understood, and focusing instead on the effort and intention you bring to the process. When you free yourself from the need for external approval, you unlock the joy of creating for its own sake. One of the greatest barriers to creative freedom is the fear of failure. The Stoics remind us that failure isn't something to be feared, but embraced. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. By reframing failure as a necessary part of growth, you allow yourself the freedom to experiment, take risks, and explore without the weight of perfectionism. Each misstep becomes a lesson, bringing you closer to mastery. Another key to creative freedom is detaching from comparisons. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to measure your work against others and feel inadequate. The Stoics advise focusing on your own path. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Instead of looking outward, look inward. What unique perspective do you bring? What drives your creative vision? By grounding yourself in your values, you free yourself from the pressure to conform or compete. Time is another constraint that often stifles creativity. We tell ourselves, "I'll create when I have more time," only to find that the perfect moment never comes. The Stoics remind us that time is fleeting and should be used wisely. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." For creatives, this translates to prioritizing your craft, even in small, consistent increments. Instead of waiting for ideal conditions, use the time you have now to create, no matter how limited it may seem. Procrastination is another common hurdle to creative freedom. The Stoics emphasized action as a remedy for stagnation. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Start with small, achievable tasks that build momentum. Whether it's sketching an idea, drafting a paragraph, or experimenting with a melody, taking action, however imperfect, frees you from the paralysis of overthinking. Stoic principles also teach the importance of presence. Creativity thrives when you're fully engaged in the moment, unburdened by worries about the past or future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." When you focus entirely on the task at hand, you enter a state of flow where ideas come naturally and time seems to disappear. Practice mindfulness as you create. Feel the texture of the paintbrush, hear the rhythm of the words, or sense the movement of your hands on an instrument. Presence transforms the act of creating into an experience of freedom and joy. Lastly, true creative freedom comes from embracing the process over the product. The Stoics believed in finding fulfillment in the effort itself, regardless of the outcome. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The fruit of this life is a good character and acts for the common good." For creatives, the fruit of your work isn't just the finished piece. It's the growth, insight, and satisfaction you gain along the way by focusing on the process. Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain our composure in the face of such reactions. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." Stay calm, set boundaries, and don't let their tantrums dictate your decisions. Entitled individuals also lack gratitude, which is perhaps the most telling sign of their mindset. Even when they receive help or benefits, they treat it as something they were owed, rather than a gesture of kindness. For instance, you might go out of your way to support them, and instead of thanking you, they barely acknowledge your effort or even expect more from you. Stoicism places immense value on gratitude as a key to happiness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you do not have, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess." Practicing gratitude not only helps you appreciate life, but also shields you from the entitlement of others. Number 8. They help only when it benefits them. Some people only offer help when there's something in it for them. At first it can be hard to notice, but over time you start to see a pattern. They'll step in when there's a clear personal gain, but when you need support, they suddenly become too busy or unavailable. It's as if their acts of kindness are just transactions. They help because it enhances their image, benefits them directly, or puts them in a position of power. This kind of self-interest can feel like a betrayal, especially when you realize that your well-being is only valuable to them when it serves their own goals. For instance, you might lend a hand to someone in need, only to find that when you're the one going through a tough time, they're nowhere to be found. They might offer excuses or just ignore your requests for help. It becomes clear that their help was more about building a favor bank for themselves than about genuine kindness. Stoicism teaches us to act with integrity regardless of whether there's a benefit to us. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you have." True help comes from a place of selflessness, not self-interest. This transactional approach to helping others can extend to more subtle ways of manipulating situations. They might offer advice that seems helpful, but it's always with the caveat that you owe them something in return. For example, they might help you with a small task at work, but later expect you to cover for them or do something in exchange. Stoics value assistance that comes without strings attached. As Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Their help is an attempt to control the situation, but your power lies in choosing not to engage in that exchange. It's easy to get frustrated or even angry when you realize you're dealing with someone who only helps when it benefits them. But Stoicism encourages us to maintain our inner peace, no matter how selfish others might be. Instead of harboring resentment, focus on cultivating a generous spirit yourself without the need for anything in return. Seneca wrote, "No man can live happily who has regard to himself alone and transforms everything into a question of his own utility." Helping others is an opportunity to practice virtue, not a transaction to get something in return. Their behavior often creates a sense of imbalance in relationships. You may feel like you're constantly giving while they take, without ever offering anything that doesn't benefit them. For example, they might enjoy the perks of being your friend, but when it's time to offer support, they disappear. This imbalance can drain you emotionally, especially if you're someone who values mutual respect and reciprocity. In these situations, the Stoic approach would be to focus on what you can control, your own actions and responses, while accepting that some people may never offer the same level of kindness. Over time, this kind of behavior can lead you to re-evaluate your relationships. If you're always the one giving and they're only helping when there's something in it for them, it's important to recognize the dynamic and protect your energy. Stoicism teaches us to protect our peace and not allow others to dictate the terms of our relationships. As Marcus Aurelius put it, when you have the opportunity to benefit another person, do so with sincerity and without expecting anything in return. True generosity comes from a place of inner strength, not out of a desire for reciprocity. Number 9, they have many enemies. People who have a trail of enemies in their wake often show us the consequences of their actions, even if they don't realize it. These individuals may present themselves as charming and friendly on the surface, but underneath they leave a path of damaged relationships, unspoken resentments, and unresolved conflicts. They may go on about how others have wronged them, or how they had to cut people off due to misunderstandings. But the truth is, when you consistently have problems with so many different people, the common denominator is usually you. These individuals often live in a world of blame. They accuse others of betrayal, but they never stop to ask why things keep falling apart around them. A friend of mine had someone in their life who was always pointing fingers at others for not understanding or supporting them. But when you looked closely, it was their own actions that were at the root of most conflicts. This person's inability to accept responsibility for their own part in things was a constant source of tension. Stoicism teaches us to take full responsibility for our actions, no matter how difficult it may be. As Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens to us. The moment we shift the focus to our own behavior, we regain control and clarity. People who have many enemies also tend to speak poorly about those they've fallen out with. Instead of reflecting on the situation, they trash talk former friends, colleagues, or acquaintances. For example, you might hear someone constantly recounting how they've been wronged by every person they've ever worked with, or how no one ever understands them. This constant narrative of being the victim reflects a refusal to see things from other perspectives, and it often comes at the expense of their own growth. Stoicism reminds us to remain calm and composed in these situations. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Instead of engaging in their petty squabbles, take the higher road by practicing empathy and understanding, even if you don't agree with the person's behavior. One of the hardest things to do is to watch someone behave in a way that causes constant conflict and then act surprised when they're isolated or surrounded by enemies. Their tendency to burn bridges can eventually lead to loneliness, and they may try to convince themselves that it's everyone else's fault. But in truth, their lack of self-reflection and their refusal to take responsibility for their actions are what perpetuate the cycle. In Stoicism, we are taught to focus on what is in our control, particularly our own actions. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." It's easy to get caught up in someone else's narrative, but it's important to stay grounded in your own truth and not get lost in the drama they create. These individuals often fail to learn from their mistakes. They repeat the same patterns, burning bridges, speaking ill of others, and distancing themselves from anyone who challenges their behavior. And because they don't learn from past conflicts, they're doomed to repeat them. A family member of mine went through cycles of friend groups, only to end up alone time and time again. Every time they'd start a new relationship, whether professional or personal, the cycle would repeat. They'd create tension, become defensive, and then cut ties, convinced that everyone else was to blame. Stoicism teaches us that growth comes from self-examination, not from avoiding uncomfortable truths. As Epictetus said, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. By confronting our own mistakes, we can break free from cycles of conflict and start building healthier, more constructive relationships. Number 10. They thrive on hate. There are some people who seem to live in a constant state of anger and resentment. It's as if hatred fuels them, and without it, they wouldn't know who they are. These individuals often thrive in environments where negativity is rampant. They focus on flaws, criticize others endlessly, and can't seem to find anything good to say about anyone. Their minds are consumed by the faults and wrongs of others, and they take pride in pointing out imperfections wherever they see them. How often have you gone through your day only to be blindsided by something you didn't expect? A sudden problem at work, an unexpected obstacle in your personal life, or an emotional setback that throws you off course. The truth is, life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, challenges are inevitable. But here's the Stoic secret to making things happen. Prepare for challenges in advance, and you'll be ready to face whatever comes your way. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, teaches us to mentally prepare for obstacles before they arise. Instead of being caught off guard or overwhelmed by setbacks, we anticipate them and think through how we would respond. By doing this, we build emotional resilience and the mental clarity needed to handle difficulties calmly and strategically. It might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would you spend time thinking about challenges and setbacks? Wouldn't that make you anxious or focused on negative outcomes? But premeditatio malorum isn't about dwelling on worst-case scenarios. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This wisdom highlights the importance of simplifying our lives and avoiding the trap of chasing after more than we truly need. By practicing moderation, you create space for consistency, focus, and mental clarity. Instead of exhausting yourself with endless striving or giving into indulgence, you create a sustainable rhythm that allows you to pursue your goals without burning out. You take the time to rest, recharge, and maintain your energy so that you can perform at your best consistently day in and day out. The key to balance is recognizing that everything has its place. Work, rest, productivity, relaxation, and each of these needs to be honored without tipping into excess. When you overwork, you burn out. When you overindulge, you feel guilty or sluggish. But when you find balance, you're able to bring your best self to everything you do and still maintain your mental and emotional well-being. So how do you start practicing balance and moderation? Begin by recognizing areas of your life where you tend to overdo it. Whether it's work, food, social media, or something else, start setting boundaries for yourself. Give yourself time to rest. Ensure that you're prioritizing the things that truly matter, while also allowing space for relaxation and rejuvenation. By embracing balance, you'll find that you not only achieve more, but you do so with greater peace and energy. Remember, the middle path is often the strongest path. Embrace moderation and let it guide you toward a more sustainable, fulfilling way of living. 10. Memento mori. Act like time is running out. How many times have you put something off thinking, "I'll get to it tomorrow," or "there's plenty of time ahead"? We all tend to procrastinate, assuming that we have endless time to accomplish our goals, fix our mistakes, or pursue our passions. But here's the truth: time is precious, and we're never guaranteed more of it. The 10th habit for making things happen is to embrace the concept of memento mori. Remember that you will die. This isn't a morbid reflection, but a powerful reminder that our time on this earth is limited. The Stoics believed that by reflecting on our mortality, we are reminded of the urgency to live a life of purpose, to make every moment count, and to stop wasting time on things that don't truly matter. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said it best: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight is the key to Stoic resilience. When you focus on how you respond to a situation, you stop letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state. You stop feeling powerless because you recognize that your responses are the only things you truly control. Let's break it down. You can't control what your boss thinks of your performance, but you can control your effort, your focus, and your attitude toward the work you do. You can't control the actions of others, but you can control how you react to their behavior. Instead of getting upset or frustrated when things don't go as planned, you can choose to remain calm and assess the situation rationally. Focusing on what you can control is liberating. It means releasing the mental and emotional burden of trying to control everything and instead giving your full attention to the things that you can influence. It helps you build emotional resilience because it gives you the strength to remain grounded regardless of external chaos. To apply this Stoic principle, start by identifying what's within your control each day. Make a mental note of the things that are in your hands, your choices, actions, mindset, and direct your energy toward those. Stop wasting time on things outside of your control and watch how much more empowered and at peace you feel. When you focus only on what you can control, you'll begin to make things happen, not because you're trying to control everything, but because you're investing your energy where it truly matters. 4. Live with purpose and excellence. Arit, be your best self. Have you ever had a day where you felt like you were simply going through the motions, doing things just to check them off a list, but never truly feeling fulfilled or proud of your efforts? It's easy to fall into this trap, especially when we get caught up in the demands of life. We often focus on getting things done, but forget the most important part, doing things with purpose and excellence. The fourth habit for making things happen is to live with purpose and excellence. The Stoics, particularly the philosopher Aristotle, emphasized the concept of arete, which means living up to your full potential by consistently striving to be your best self in everything you do. This isn't about perfection. Arete is about focusing on the highest standards, doing everything with integrity, and pursuing excellence in every action, no matter how big or small. When you live with purpose, you don't just go through the motions. You choose how to show up, what you care about, and where you put your energy. Living with purpose means aligning your actions with your deepest values so that every effort, every decision, and every goal contributes to your overall vision of who you want to be and what you want to achieve. Think about it. How often do we give in to mediocrity? We're sometimes content with just good enough because it's easier than pushing ourselves toward excellence. But this attitude can leave us feeling unsatisfied and drained, as we know we're not living up to our true potential. On the other hand, when we choose excellence, we bring our best selves to everything we do. Whether you're working on a project, building relationships, or taking care of your health, arete means that you're giving your best effort, not for approval or external rewards, but because it aligns with your purpose and values. Excellence in the Stoic sense doesn't mean being flawless. It means being authentic, striving to improve, and doing your best in the circumstances you're in. By embracing arete, you also stop focusing solely on the outcome. The Stoics knew that true satisfaction comes not from achieving external success, but from being fully present and committed to the process. When you focus on doing your best regardless of the external result, you give yourself the freedom to pursue your goals with integrity and pride. The outcome will naturally follow when you focus on the quality of your actions. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The perfection of character is in the harmony between your mind and actions." This means that when you are aligned with your purpose, your thoughts and actions become an integrated force, creating both success and satisfaction. By pursuing excellence in all areas of your life, you begin to see not just the results, but also the growth that comes from striving for your highest potential. So how can you apply arete to your life today? Start by identifying the areas where you can raise your standards, whether it's in your work, personal relationships, or self-care routines. Commit to excellence in the small things. Don't just focus on the end result. Focus on the effort, the intention, and the quality of everything you do. When you live with purpose and excellence, you start to make things happen, not because you're striving for perfection, but because you're consistently showing up as the best version of yourself. And that's where true success is born. 5. Prepare for challenges. Premeditatio malorum, expect the unexpected. How often have you gone through your day only to be blindsided by something you didn't expect? A sudden problem at work, an unexpected obstacle in your personal life, or an emotional setback that throws you off course. The truth is, life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, challenges are inevitable. But here's the Stoic secret to making things happen. Prepare for challenges in advance, and you'll be ready to face whatever comes your way. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, teaches us to mentally prepare for obstacles before they arise. Instead of being caught off guard or overwhelmed by setbacks, we anticipate them and think through how we would respond. By doing this, we build emotional resilience and the mental clarity needed to handle difficulties calmly and strategically. It might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would you spend time thinking about challenges and setbacks? Wouldn't that make you anxious or focused on negative outcomes? But premeditatio malorum isn't about dwelling on worst-case scenarios. It's about mentally preparing yourself to face difficulties with a sense of control without being overwhelmed by fear or surprise. When you've already thought through how you might respond, the actual challenge becomes less intimidating and you can handle it with confidence and composure. The Stoics believed that we can't control the external events in our lives, but we can control how we prepare for them and how we respond when they come. Think about the people closest to you, your family, friends, and colleagues. These relationships are built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. But anger is like a corrosive acid that eats away at these foundations. When anger takes control, you might find yourself saying things you don't mean. Hurtful words can cut deeper than any physical wound. A single outburst can leave lasting scars on those you care about. Imagine yelling at your partner during a heated argument. You might say things that are cruel and untrue, things that you can't take back. The look of hurt in their eyes is a reflection of the damage you've done. Trust is shattered, and rebuilding it can be a long and painful process. It's not just the big explosions of anger that are harmful. It's the simmering resentment, the passive-aggressive comments, and the cold silences that can erode a relationship over time. Every time you snap at a friend or ignore a loved one because of your anger, you're chipping away at the bond you share. These small acts accumulate, creating a wall of bitterness and resentment between you and the people you care about. Anger doesn't just affect your relationships with others, it also impacts how you see yourself. When you're constantly angry, it becomes a part of your identity. You start to see yourself as an angry person, and this self-perception can be incredibly damaging. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expect to be angry, and so you find more and more reasons to be angry. This negative cycle traps you in a constant state of frustration and hostility. Living in a state of perpetual anger affects your mental health. It increases stress levels, which can lead to anxiety and depression. The constant tension in your body and mind makes it difficult to relax and enjoy life. You become consumed by negative thoughts, and it's hard to see the good in anything. This negativity spills over into all areas of your life, affecting your work, hobbies, and overall well-being. Physical health also suffers. Chronic anger triggers the body's fight or flight response, releasing stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare your body for immediate action, but when they're constantly activated, they can cause serious health problems. High blood pressure, heart disease, and weakened immune function are just a few of the potential consequences. Your body is not designed to handle this constant state of emergency, and over time it takes a toll. Consider the impact on your professional life. Anger can make it difficult to work with others, leading to conflicts with colleagues and supervisors. It can create a hostile work environment where cooperation and collaboration are replaced by tension and confrontation. This not only affects your job performance, but also your career prospects. Employers are less likely to promote someone who is seen as difficult to work with. Your professional reputation can be damaged, limiting your opportunities for growth and advancement. Anger also clouds your judgment. When you're angry, it's hard to think clearly and make rational decisions. You might act impulsively, saying or doing things you later regret. These impulsive actions can have serious consequences, both personally and professionally. Making decisions in the heat of the moment often leads to mistakes and poor outcomes. You might quit a job in a fit of anger, end a relationship abruptly, or make a rash financial decision. The fallout from these decisions can be long-lasting and difficult to reverse. Imagine missing out on important opportunities because of your anger. You might avoid social events, withdraw from relationships, or decline professional opportunities because you're afraid of losing your temper. This isolation can lead to loneliness and a sense of disconnection from the world around you. Anger becomes a barrier that prevents you from experiencing life to the fullest. It limits your potential and keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity and regret. To break free from the grip of anger, it's essential to understand its root causes. Anger often masks deeper emotions like fear, sadness, and insecurity. By addressing these underlying issues, you can begin to manage your anger more effectively. This might involve seeking therapy, practicing mindfulness, or learning new coping strategies. It's a journey that requires patience and self-compassion, but the rewards are worth it. Imagine a life where you can respond to challenges with calmness and clarity, where your relationships are built on trust and respect, and your decisions are guided by wisdom and insight. This is the life that awaits you when you choose to confront and manage your anger. It's a life of peace, fulfillment, and connection. The first step is recognizing the destructive power of anger and committing to change. As you start to understand the devastating impact of anger on your relationships and professional life, it's essential to recognize how anger can also cloud your judgment and distort your perception of reality. Anger creates a distorted lens through which you view the world. When you're angry, everything seems more significant and more threatening than it actually is. This skewed perspective can lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretations of events and people's intentions. You might perceive a harmless comment as a personal attack or a minor inconvenience as a major setback. This distortion fuels a cycle of anger and resentment, making it difficult to see things clearly and rationally. One of the most insidious effects of anger is how it can warp your sense of reality. Anger can make you see enemies where there are none, turning neutral or even friendly interactions into battles. You start to believe that everyone is against you, that the world is an unfriendly place. This paranoia isolates you further, feeding your anger and creating a self-perpetuating cycle of hostility and mistrust. This distorted perception doesn't just affect how you see others, it also impacts how you see yourself. Anger can make you overly critical and harsh towards yourself. You might blame yourself for things that aren't your fault or hold yourself to impossible standards. This self-criticism erodes your self-esteem and confidence, making it even harder to break free from the grip of anger. Anger can also lead to catastrophic thinking, where you always expect the worst-case scenario. This kind of thinking is exhausting and debilitating. It drains your energy and makes it difficult to enjoy life. Instead of focusing on the positive aspects of your life, you're constantly on edge, waiting for something bad to happen. This constant state of vigilance takes a toll on your mental and physical health, leaving you feeling drained and defeated. Another way anger distorts your reality is by creating a sense of entitlement. When you're angry, you might feel that you're justified in your anger and that others need to accommodate you. This sense of entitlement can lead to unrealistic expectations and demands, which only serve to further alienate you from others. When people don't meet your expectations, your anger grows, creating a vicious cycle of disappointment and frustration. In the heat of anger, you might find yourself acting out in ways that you later regret. This impulsivity can have serious consequences. You might say or do things that hurt others, damage your reputation, or create legal problems. Acting out of anger can lead to rash decisions that have long-term repercussions. Once the anger subsides, you're left to deal with the fallout, which can be both emotionally and financially costly. Consider how anger can impact your decision-making abilities. When you're angry, it's hard to think clearly and rationally. Your judgment is clouded, and you might make decisions that you wouldn't normally make if you were calm. These decisions can have serious consequences for your personal and professional life. You might quit a job in a fit of rage, end a relationship abruptly, or make a hasty financial decision. These impulsive actions can create a ripple effect, impacting your future in ways you might not have anticipated. Anger can also hinder your ability to solve problems effectively. When you're angry, your focus is on the problem rather than the solution. You become fixated on what went wrong rather than looking for ways to make it right. This tunnel vision makes it difficult to see alternative solutions and to think creatively. It can also make it hard to collaborate with others, as you're more likely to see them as adversaries rather than allies. The constant state of anger can also make it difficult to experience joy and happiness. When you're always angry, it's hard to appreciate the good things in life. You might find it difficult to enjoy time with loved ones, to relax and have fun, or to take pleasure in your hobbies and interests. This lack of joy and fulfillment can lead to a sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction, making it even harder to break free from the grip of anger. Imagine a life where you're able to see things clearly and rationally, where you're able to respond to challenges with calmness and composure, and where you're able to experience joy and happiness. This is the life that awaits you when you choose to confront and manage your anger. It's a life of clarity, fulfillment, and peace. The first step is recognizing how anger distorts your perception and committing to change. Recognizing these distortions is crucial. The path to a better life starts with understanding how anger manipulates your thoughts and reactions. By gaining awareness, you can begin to challenge these distorted thoughts and replace them with more balanced and rational perspectives. As you work to shift your perception, consider techniques such as mindfulness and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Mindfulness helps you stay present, reducing the grip of anger-fueled distortions. CBT, on the other hand, teaches you to identify and reframe negative thoughts, helping you see situations more clearly and respond more appropriately. What's one thing you're grateful for today? How can you carry that feeling into tomorrow? Let me share a quick story about someone who put these daily practices into action. A viewer of this channel, let's call her Linda, wrote to me recently. She told me about how she'd been struggling with a toxic family member who constantly criticized her choices. Every time they spoke, she felt drained and defeated. Linda started using the practices we're talking about today. She began her mornings by reflecting on her intention to stay calm and set clear boundaries. At midday, she checked in with herself, reminding herself not to take the bait. And in the evenings, she reviewed her interactions, celebrating small wins like staying composed during a tense conversation. Over time, Linda told me she felt stronger. The criticism didn't sting as much, and she found herself letting go of the resentment she'd been carrying for years. She even noticed that her calm and consistent boundaries started to shift the dynamic in their relationship. Linda's story is a reminder that Stoicism works not just in ancient Rome, but here and now, in our everyday lives. Can you relate to Linda's story? What's one small step you can take today to protect your peace? Now that we've explored these strategies and practices, let's take it one step further. I want you to think of your peace as a fortress, your inner fortress. Every wall, gate, and tower represents a different strategy for protecting your well-being. Take a moment to visualize it. The outer walls are your boundaries, keeping negativity at bay. The watchtowers are your daily practices like reflection and gratitude, helping you stay vigilant. The inner sanctum is your self-care, the safe space where you recharge and nurture your resilience. Exercise. Grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and sketch or describe your fortress. Label each part with the strategies that resonate most with you. For example, one wall might be labeled the grey rock method, while another is limit exposure. This visualization can help you stay focused and intentional about protecting your peace. I want to leave you with this thought. Stoicism is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. And with time, you'll find that the challenges that once seemed overwhelming no longer have the same hold on you. What's one Stoic practice you'll commit to trying this week? How do you think it will impact your day-to-day life? By learning to stop people-pleasing and start respecting your own needs, you take a crucial step toward becoming the master of your own life. Remember, true kindness isn't about sacrificing yourself for others. It's about giving from a place of strength, not obligation. Ask yourself today, am I respecting my own needs? Or am I constantly prioritizing others at my expense? If it's the latter, start small. Say no to one thing that doesn't serve you and notice how it feels. Over time, you'll build the strength and confidence to stand up for yourself without guilt or hesitation. Lesson 2. Cut the constant apologies. Do you catch yourself apologizing for things that don't really require an apology? Maybe you say, "I'm sorry" when someone bumps into you, or you apologize before asking a simple question. While apologizing is important in certain situations, over-apologizing can weaken your confidence and signal to others that you don't value yourself as much as you should. When you constantly apologize, you unintentionally send a message that you're at fault or that your presence is inconvenient. Over time, this habit can undermine your self-respect and cause others to take you less seriously. Apologizing too much also creates an internal belief that you're always in the wrong, which can erode your self-esteem and make it harder to assert yourself. Of course, genuine apologies are necessary when you've made a mistake or hurt someone, but apologizing for things that aren't your fault or for simply existing does more harm than good. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry" out of habit, start practicing assertive communication that respects both you and the person you're speaking to. Here's a simple strategy. The next time you feel the urge to apologize for something minor, pause and ask yourself, is this really something I need to apologize for, or am I just filling the silence? If it's unnecessary, try replacing "I'm sorry" with a more neutral or positive phrase. For example, instead of saying "sorry for bothering you," say "thank you for your time." Instead of "I'm sorry I'm late," say "thank you for waiting." By shifting your language, you maintain respect for the other person without diminishing your own. This small change helps you communicate confidently and reinforces your self-worth. Over-apologizing isn't just about words, it's about mindset. Start paying attention to how often you say sorry in situations where it's not needed. And remind yourself that you have a right to take up space and express your needs without guilt. Assertiveness doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means respecting yourself while respecting others. The Stoics believed in controlling what you can and letting go of what you can't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Constantly apologizing for things outside your control only drains your energy. Instead, focus on what you can control: your words, your actions, and your attitude toward yourself. Ask yourself, am I apologizing because I've done something wrong, or am I apologizing out of habit? If it's the latter, start practicing more assertive communication. Over time, you'll notice a shift not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. You'll feel more confident, more respected, and more in control of your interactions. Remember, cutting out unnecessary apologies doesn't mean ignoring your mistakes. It means valuing yourself enough to know when an apology is truly needed. By doing so, you'll strengthen your self-respect and communicate in a way that reflects your true worth. Lesson 3. Set boundaries and own your space. Have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to do, just to avoid conflict or disappointing someone? Or perhaps you felt uncomfortable in a situation, but stayed silent because you didn't want to appear difficult. If so, it's likely that you need to work on setting boundaries, an essential skill for protecting your self-respect. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define what's acceptable and unacceptable in your life. They help you protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without clear boundaries, you end up feeling drained, resentful, and overlooked because you're constantly giving more than you should. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. It shows others that you value yourself and won't tolerate behavior that compromises your well-being. One of the biggest misconceptions about setting boundaries is that it's about pushing people away or being harsh. In reality, boundaries are about mutual respect. Respecting yourself enough to communicate your needs and respecting others enough to be clear with them. Healthy boundaries create stronger, more balanced relationships because they prevent misunderstandings and resentment. Here's a simple way to start. Identify one area in your life where you feel your boundaries are being crossed. It could be at work, with friends, or even with family. Once you've identified it, think about what behavior you're uncomfortable with and how you can assert your boundary in a calm, respectful way. For example, if a colleague regularly interrupts your work with non-urgent requests, you could say, "Kanti, I'm happy to help, but I need to finish this task first. Can we discuss it later?" If a friend always expects you to be available, you might say, "I care about you, but I also need time for myself. I won't always be able to say yes." At first, setting boundaries might feel awkward or even scary, especially if you're used to putting others' needs first. But over time, you'll notice something powerful. People will start to respect you more because you respect yourself. Those who genuinely care about you will appreciate your honesty, and those who don't may drift away, making room for healthier relationships. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is learning to say no without guilt. Many people fear that saying no will make them seem rude or unkind, but in reality, saying no when something doesn't serve you is an act of self-care. You don't have to explain or justify your no. Sometimes a simple, polite "I can't right now" is enough. The Stoics believed in the importance of guarding one's mind and energy. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." By setting boundaries, you're creating space for what truly matters in your life. Whether it's personal growth, meaningful relationships, or simply peace of mind, here's something to reflect on. Where in my life am I saying yes when I really want to say no? Choose one instance where you can start practicing boundaries this week. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, setting boundaries is a skill, and like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Remember, you're not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. You're responsible for your own well-being. By setting boundaries and owning your space, you're making a powerful statement. I value myself, and I won't compromise my self-respect for the comfort of others. And that's one of the most important steps you can take toward building lasting self-respect. It's a life where you can build stronger relationships, achieve your goals with confidence, and create a future that reflects your true potential. The next step is to embrace these practices and commit to a path of thoughtful and deliberate decision-making. As you cultivate a life guided by wisdom and thoughtful decision-making, it's crucial to acknowledge how unchecked anger can stifle your creativity and innovation. The Stoic philosopher Seneca believed in the importance of daily reflection. He recommended that at the end of each day, we should take time to review our actions, asking ourselves what we did well, where we fell short, and how we can improve. This kind of reflection isn't about self-criticism or judgment. It's about learning and growing. Seneca wrote, "We should every night call ourselves to account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" This practice allows us to continuously refine our character and build confidence from knowing that we are always working to become better versions of ourselves. Through self-reflection, we develop a deeper understanding of who we are, what drives us, and what areas need attention. This clarity is key to building confidence because it gives us a roadmap for personal growth. When you know where your strengths lie and where you need to improve, you can make intentional choices to work on those areas, which boosts your self-assurance. Instead of feeling lost or unsure, you're empowered with the knowledge of how to move forward. Self-reflection also helps us identify patterns in our behavior that may be holding us back. For instance, if you notice that you tend to react defensively in certain situations or avoid taking risks because of fear, you can begin to work on changing those habits. By acknowledging these patterns through reflection, you take the first step toward breaking free from them. Over time, this leads to a greater sense of control over your actions and decisions, which naturally enhances your confidence. One of the key principles of Stoic philosophy is the idea that we should focus on what's within our control and let go of everything else. Self-reflection helps us apply this principle to our daily lives by encouraging us to examine our reactions to the things that happen around us. For example, after a difficult conversation or challenging situation, you might ask yourself, how did I handle that? Did I focus on what I could control? Or did I let my emotions get the better of me? This kind of reflection helps you become more mindful of your reactions and teaches you to respond to life's challenges with greater calm and clarity. Self-reflection is not only about analyzing your actions, but also about examining your thoughts and emotions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently wrote about the importance of understanding his own mind. He believed that our thoughts shape our experience of life, and that by reflecting on them, we can cultivate a mindset that aligns with our values and goals. Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By regularly reflecting on your thoughts, you can identify negative patterns such as self-doubt, fear, or judgment, and work to replace them with more constructive and empowering beliefs. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't handle this," self-reflection allows you to challenge these thoughts and reframe them. Instead of letting negative thoughts erode your confidence, you can reflect on past experiences where you've succeeded or overcome challenges, and remind yourself that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. This process of reframing negative thoughts is a powerful way to build resilience and self-confidence. Another benefit of self-reflection is that it helps you stay true to your values. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with your values is essential for a fulfilling and confident life. By regularly reflecting on your actions, you can ensure that you're living in alignment with your principles. This might mean asking yourself questions like, did I act with integrity today? Was I kind and just in my interactions with others? Did I stay focused on my goals, or did I get distracted by things that don't matter? This kind of reflection keeps you grounded in your values, which strengthens your confidence because you know you're living authentically. One of the most practical ways to incorporate self-reflection into your daily routine is through journaling. Keeping a journal allows you to track your thoughts, actions, and progress over time. It gives you a space to reflect on your experiences, set goals, and analyze your reactions to life's challenges. Many Stoic philosophers, including Marcus Aurelius, use journaling as a way to practice self-reflection and gain insight into their inner lives. By writing down your reflections each day, you create a record of your growth and a tool for continuous self-improvement. Let's consider an example of how self-reflection can boost confidence. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation at work. In the days leading up to it, you feel anxious and unsure of yourself. Instead of letting those feelings undermine your confidence, you take time to reflect. You ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What's the worst that could happen? What have I done in the past that prepared me for this? Through this process, you realize that you've successfully given presentations before and that your preparation has set you up for success. This self-reflection not only calms your nerves, but also reinforces your belief in your own abilities. In conclusion, practicing self-reflection is a crucial Stoic lesson for boosting confidence. By regularly examining your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you gain valuable insights into your strengths and weaknesses, which helps you grow and improve. Self-reflection also helps you stay aligned with your values, break negative patterns, and cultivate a mindset that fosters confidence and resilience. Through daily reflection, whether through journaling or simply taking time to think, you can build a deep sense of self-assurance that will guide you through life's challenges. Resilience is one of the most essential qualities for navigating life's challenges with confidence, and it is a central concept in Stoic philosophy. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and unexpected events, but how we respond to these challenges determines whether we become stronger or feel defeated. The Stoics teach us that true resilience comes from focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. Epictetus reminds us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This Stoic teaching is at the heart of resilience. While we cannot always control the circumstances we face, whether it's a personal failure, a health issue, or a difficult relationship, Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We have complete control over how we respond. By choosing to view challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as insurmountable problems, we build the mental and emotional strength to face adversity with confidence. Building resilience means cultivating the ability to bounce back from difficulties. It's not about avoiding pain or discomfort, but learning to endure them with grace and clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful Stoic principle teaches us that obstacles are not meant to be avoided, but embraced as part of our journey. Each challenge we face provides an opportunity to develop our resilience, grow stronger, and become more confident in our ability to handle future difficulties. Consider a common situation in which resilience is necessary: losing a job. For many, this experience can be overwhelming and lead to feelings of failure, self-doubt, and fear about the future. However, through the lens of Stoicism, losing a job can be seen not as a failure, but as an opportunity for growth and reinvention. The Stoics would advise us to focus on what we can control, our next steps, how we use our time and our mindset, rather than dwelling on the loss itself. By approaching the situation with resilience, we can turn what seems like a setback into a new beginning. Another key aspect of building resilience is accepting that life is unpredictable. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, which involves mentally preparing for worst-case scenarios. By considering what could go wrong, Stoics were better equipped to handle challenges with composure when they arose. This practice doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but rather acknowledging that hardships are a natural part of life. When you mentally prepare for adversity, you're less likely to be caught off guard and more likely to respond with resilience when difficulties arise. Let's take the example of someone training for a marathon. They know that along the way they will face physical fatigue, injury, or moments of doubt. Instead of fearing these obstacles, they anticipate them and develop strategies to overcome them. Whether it's through physical conditioning, mental toughness, or learning to pace themselves. This is resilience in action. By preparing for challenges and accepting them as part of the process, they build the strength to push through when things get tough. The same principle applies to life. When we build resilience by accepting that setbacks are inevitable, we gain the confidence to face them head-on. Resilience is also about maintaining a positive mindset in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that our perception of events shapes our experience of them. Seneca said, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." This highlights the power of our thoughts in shaping our reality. When we view challenges as insurmountable, we feel overwhelmed and defeated. But when we see them as opportunities for growth, we approach them with a sense of purpose and resilience. By choosing to maintain a positive outlook, even in difficult times, we build the mental toughness needed to overcome adversity. In addition to mental resilience, the Stoics emphasize the importance of emotional resilience. Life's challenges can trigger a range of emotions: anger, sadness, frustration, or fear. While it's natural to feel these emotions, the Stoics teach us not to let them control our actions. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This means focusing on what you can do and accepting what you cannot change. Emotional resilience involves acknowledging your feelings, but not allowing them to dictate your response. By practicing emotional self-control, you build the resilience to face challenges with calm and clarity. Let's consider a real-life example of resilience. Think about someone who has faced a major setback, such as a serious illness or the loss of a loved one. While these experiences are incredibly painful, those who practice resilience are able to move forward by focusing on what they can control, whether it's taking care of their health, finding support from loved ones, or adjusting to their new reality. By focusing on what we can control, accepting adversity as part of life, and maintaining a positive mindset, we can develop the resilience needed to face difficulties with confidence. The Stoics remind us that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, and by embracing this mindset, we can build the inner strength to handle whatever life throws our way. Embracing this journey means being open to learning, adapting, and evolving as we gain more experiences. It's about recognizing that wisdom isn't static. It deepens and expands as we continue to engage with the world and reflect on our interactions. Moreover, embracing the long-term journey aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This isn't about resignation, but about empowerment. It frees us from the unnecessary stress of trying to control the uncontrollable and allows us to invest our energy in actions and attitudes that truly enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. In practical terms, this might mean choosing to invest time in relationships that are nurturing and supportive, pursuing careers that align with our values, or dedicating ourselves to causes that we believe in. Each choice is a brick in the foundation of a life well lived, a life that reflects our deepest convictions and highest aspirations. Thank you all for joining me today in exploring these Stoic principles. Remember, the journey is long, but each step is a chance to reinforce who we are and what we stand for. When two things occur successively, we call them cause and effect if we believe one event made the other one happen. If we think one event is the response to the other, we call it a reaction. If we feel that the two incidents are not related, we call it a mere coincidence. If we think someone deserved what happened, we call it a retribution or reward depending on whether the event was negative or positive for the recipient. If we cannot find a reason for the two events occurring simultaneously or in close proximity, we call it an accident. Therefore, how we explain coincidences depends on how we see the world. Is everything connected so that events create resonances like ripples across a net? Or do things merely co-occur and we give meaning to these co-occurrences based on our belief system? Latizu's answer, it's all in how you think. When meditation is mastered, the mind is unwavering like the flame of a lamp in a windless place. In the still mind, in the depths of meditation, the self reveals itself. Beholding the self by means of the self, an aspirant knows the joy and peace of complete fulfillment. Having attained that abiding joy beyond the senses, revealed in the stilled mind, he never swerves from the eternal truth. You have the right to work, but for the work's sake only. You have no rights to the fruits of work. Desire for the fruits of work must never be your motive in working. Never give way to laziness either. Perform every action with your heart fixed on the Supreme Lord. Renounce attachment to the fruits. Be even-tempered in success and failure. For it is this evenness of temper which is meant by yoga. Work done with anxiety about results is far inferior to the work done without such anxiety. In the calm of self-surrender, seek refuge in the knowledge of Brahma. They who work selfishly for results are miserable. In this world, three gates lead to hell. The gates of passion, anger, and greed. Released from these three qualities, one can succeed in attaining salvation and reaching the highest goal. You are what you believe in. You become that which you believe you can become. Man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he is. Seek refuge in the attitude of detachment, and you will amass the wealth of spiritual awareness. The one who is motivated only by desire for the fruits of their action and anxious about the results is miserable indeed. When a man dwells on the pleasure of sense, attraction for them arises in him. From attraction arises desire, the lust of possession, and this leads to passion, to anger. From passion comes confusion of the mind, then loss of remembrance, the forgetting of duty. From this loss comes the ruin of reason, and the ruin of reason leads man to destruction. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the truths and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, and the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well therefore to this day. Such is the salvation of the dawn. The soul who meditates on the self is content to serve the self and rests satisfied within the self. There remains nothing more for him to accomplish. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus is untouched by water. One who has control over the mind is tranquil in heat and cold, in pain and pleasure, and in honor and dishonor, and is ever steadfast with the Supreme Self. One should strive to employ oneself to uplift oneself. One should never dishonor oneself. The self is one's friend as well as one's enemy. It is both near and far, both within and without every creature. It moves and is unmoving. In its subtlety, it is beyond comprehension. It is invisible, yet appears divided in separate creatures. Know it to be the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. Dwelling in every heart, it is beyond darkness. It is called the light of the lights, the object and goal of knowledge, and knowledge itself. It is better to strive in one's own dharma than in another's, than to succeed in the dharma of another. Nothing is ever lost in following one's own dharma, but competition in another's dharma breeds fear and insecurity. For him who has no concentration, there is no tranquility. Death is as sure for that which is born as birth is for that which is dead. Therefore grieve not for what is inevitable. Delusion arises from anger. The mind is bewildered by delusion. Reasoning is destroyed when the mind is bewildered. One falls down when reasoning is destroyed. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us be thankful. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts and made up of our thoughts. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, suffering follows him, as the wheel follows the hoof of the beast that draws the wagon. If a man speaks or acts with a good thought, happiness follows him like a shadow that never leaves. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. One moment can change a day. One day can change a life, and one life can change the world. Be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life. Kindness should be the natural way of life, not the exception. It is better to travel well than to arrive. To live a pure, unselfish life, one must count nothing as one's own in the midst of abundance. Whatever a monk keeps pursuing with his thinking and pondering, that becomes the inclination of his awareness. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again. But if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Just as the great ocean has one taste, the taste of salt is another. So also this teaching and discipline has one taste, the taste of liberation. The root of suffering is attachment. Your work is to discover your world, and then, with all your heart, give yourself to it. There is no fire like passion. There is no shark like hatred. There is no snare like folly. There is no torrent like greed. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. What you are basically deep down, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. I have realized that the past and the future are real illusions, that they exist in the present, which is what there is and all there is. You are a function of what the whole universe is doing, in the same way that a wave is a function of what the whole ocean is doing. Man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he is. Seek refuge in the attitude of detachment, and you will amass the wealth of spiritual awareness. The one who is motivated only by desire for the fruits of their action and anxious about the results is miserable indeed. When a man dwells on the pleasure of sense, attraction for them arises in him. From attraction arises desire, the lust of possession, and this leads to passion, to anger. From passion comes confusion of the mind, then loss of remembrance, the forgetting of duty. From this loss comes the ruin of reason, and the ruin of reason leads man to destruction. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the truths and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, and the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well therefore to this day, such is the salvation of the dawn. The soul who meditates on the self is content to serve the self and rests satisfied within the self. There remains nothing more for him to accomplish. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus is untouched by water. One who has control over the mind is tranquil in heat and cold, in pain and pleasure, and in honor and dishonor, and is ever steadfast with the Supreme Self. One should strive to employ oneself to uplift oneself. One should never dishonor oneself. The self is one's friend as well as one's enemy. It is both near and far, both within and without every creature. It moves and is unmoving. In its subtlety it is beyond comprehension. It is invisible, yet appears divided in separate creatures. Know it to be the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. Dwelling in every heart, it is beyond darkness. It is called the light of the lights, the object and goal of knowledge and knowledge itself. It is better to strive in one's own dharma than in another's, than to succeed in the dharma of another. Nothing is ever lost in following one's own dharma, but competition in another's dharma breeds fear and insecurity. Death is as sure for that which is born as birth is for that which is dead. Therefore grieve not for what is inevitable. Delusion arises from anger. The mind is bewildered by delusion. Reasoning is destroyed when the mind is bewildered. One falls down when reasoning is destroyed. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us be thankful. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts and made up of our thoughts. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, suffering follows him, as the wheel follows the hoof of the beast that draws the wagon. If a man speaks or acts with a good thought, happiness follows him like a shadow that never leaves. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. One moment can change a day. One day can change a life, and one life can change the world. Be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life. Kindness should be the natural way of life, not the exception. It is better to travel well than to arrive. To live a pure, unselfish life, one must count nothing as one's own in the midst of abundance. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again. But if he is peaceful, loving and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. The root of suffering is attachment. Your work is to discover your world, and then, with all your heart, give yourself to it. There is no fire like passion. There is no shark like hatred. There is no snare like folly. There is no torrent like greed. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. What you are basically deep down, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking us until the end.